So this is my idea, is wake up 3 to 6 times a night. I do 6. Dream recall. You want it, I've got it, let's freaking talk about it.
Dream powers rise against the dawn.
When most people talk about their recall, they're actually talking about how they feel about their recall for a bit. So we're going to look at something a little more solid. I like to call it your recall score. How many dreams, specific dreams, can you remember in the last 7 days? You can use your dream journal or whatever it is you need to try to remember these dreams, and that is your score. Your score changes every day because the 7 days rotates. You can look at your recall score for the month or the year if you have that data, and I think those are really good points to see, am I getting better at this? Am I getting worse at this? What did I actually put into this to get better? This is the sort of thing that's going to help propel you to be an amazing dreamer, not just a lucid dreamer, because remember, the game is dreaming. This is just your obligatory, different people have different minds and different ways of doing things, so if this isn't your way, that's fine. I can still teach you about dream recall. You can still implement some ideas from me. There's all sorts of fun things here, and these techniques, you can even use them slowly, but I promise you, they're going to be much more effective if you just go nuts. You probably don't want a dream journal. I've mentioned before that I think dream journals suck, but I think they're one of the most useful tools you can have. Especially in the beginning. If you're not interested in your dreams, then why are you here? If you're not interested in your dreams, then you're going to get bored of lucid dreaming, I promise you. So at the beginning, let's look at your dreams. Let's spend time and effort pouring into them and enjoying them. If you want to boost your recall like crazy right away, dream journal for an hour a day. Now, you might be like, I can't dream journal for an hour a day. Okay, then dream journal for 5 minutes, and then dream journal for 5 minutes again. Rewrite those dreams. Why the frick not? Why does it have to be less effective to write them down again? It's effective, it's helpful. You'll find new details as you spend more time. If you are working on mild, then obviously your time spent thinking about mild can also be used to increase your recall. You're going to be thinking about your dreams, and you're going to be thinking about getting lucid in them. So spending time throughout your day working on mild, or right before you go to bed, that can count as time working on recall. One amazing way to fill up a lot of time dream journaling and pulling more details out is to ask yourself just a bunch of questions, right? What was I wearing in the dream? What day of the week did I think it was? How old did I think I was? What was everyone else wearing? What was the color of the table that I was sitting at? What kind of food was there? Is it food that I've eaten recently? Is there anything like in the background that I can just notice right now, like a building or something like that? Where was this dream in relation to other dreams? There's just a million questions like that. And as you start thinking of them, more and more will come to your mind, and it just really starts filling in this dream journal so that you can just actually have like a full, detailed, amazing dream journal at the end of the day. At the end of the day, you're another day older. If you can't put that time away throughout the day, do it before bed at night. If you can't put it before bed at night, do it throughout the night, which leads into my next step for crazy amounts of dream recall. So this is my idea, is wake up 3 to 6 times a night. I do 6. Now, y'all are probably thinking, oh my gosh, you're gonna burn your brain out. I'm not waking up for like an hour every night. I don't have 6 hours extra a night. I'm waking up for a couple of minutes. You go to bed, and you wake up at 4 hours of sleep, at 5 hours of sleep, 6 hours of sleep. One of those times, you're probably going to remember a dream. And when you do, you write that freaking thing down. Another big thing is going to be like Saturday mornings. If you can sleep in and just kind of like wake up and go back to sleep and wake up and go back to sleep, you'll generally have a dream through that. And it's a really good time to just have something that you can write down a lot of. This is for people that have like zero recall. That sleeping in technique will be really good. But if you want to increase your recall from 1 dream a night to 3 dreams a night, waking in the night really helps. In the past, I've talked about tagging your dreams, and I said basically to tag 3 things: person, place, and the thing that you're doing. But what I found 10 times more effective is to just write about a paragraph, like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sentences about the dream. Just kind of what you were doing. It's like 100 words, generally 100 to 200, and if you do that every waking, then you wake up in the morning with like 400 or 500 words already written, and probably already like 20 minutes of dream journaling done, which leaves you with 40 left, which is pretty awesome. Now, I definitely hear you guys saying, holy crap, this is a lot of work. Why are you doing this? Because you want dream recall. And when you have it, whenever you can access it by just thinking, hey, I want to remember more dreams tonight, just that thought alone can increase my recall immensely. That's crazy. That's what you want. This is how you get there. You get there by being crazy. You get there by pushing hard. Let's not forget that when you wake up, you need to do a reality check immediately. I told you before, just go to your bed right now and 1,000 times pretend that you woke up and then do a reality check. You can do a motionless reality check where you try to fly or something, or you can just do a quick one, check your hands, count your fingers, plug your nose, whatever works for you, whatever you think is going to work for you. But you need to do a reality check every time you wake. And if you're going to be waking multiple times a night, false awakenings are most likely going to keep happening to you, which is going to be a great time for you to get a lucid dream because you reality check every time you wake up ever for the rest of your life. That's just your new rule for life. Now that you've reality checked, you need to be thinking about your dreams. You don't want to drift all the way back to sleep because then you'll forget the dreams that you do have. If you don't have any dreams, you want to spend a few good seconds trying to recall them, right? Maybe 10 seconds, maybe a minute. But if you start drifting to sleep, you sit up and you start working on it there. And then if you start feeling like you're too awake to be able to go back to sleep, then you go back to sleep. Now, I think that we talk about delving like it's this magical thing. It's just a memory technique. It's just trying to sit there. It's like you sitting there in a test and you're like, I remember this thing, but I don't remember it exactly. So you're trying to pull it up, right? But as you spend time working on it, you get better and better at delving. I like to think of it like you're like throwing these nets like into your subconscious and you're pulling them up and you're just hoping you can catch a fish. I have different tools that I use whenever I'm delving. Like I try to remember the previous day while still holding that intent to remember my dreams, and I can sort of swirl that around in my head and see if anything catches. There's also a few thoughts that I have that often bring up dreams. I focus on those. As you use these subconscious things, they get stronger and stronger, and you get better and better at traversing that bridge between waking and dreams. And when you traverse it one way, you can traverse it the other way, meaning that as your recall gets better, so does your ability to send things into dreams. If you are keeping a dream journal, not only should your recall score be there for every single day, written down, you should also be writing down how many wakings you had throughout the night, what techniques you did throughout the night, and what techniques you were planning on doing. So if you were planning on waking 5 times a night and you only woke 3, write that down. If you did mild 3 times that night, write that down. This is something I've noticed with a lot of people is they'll tell me that they've been doing lucid dreaming for like a year and they've had no lucids. And I say, well, how often do you do mild? The original mild says that you're supposed to wake throughout the night in your natural wakings, and you're supposed to try mild then, and then go back to sleep. Now, some of you don't understand intent, and I know it's hard because it comes really easy while you're awake, right? You're like, oh, next time I go to the store, I'm gonna grab some pickles, right? So then you go to the store and your mind's like, hey, I'm at the store. And you're like, I'm gonna grab some pickles. So these thoughts are connected, right? So the problem with intent when it comes to dreaming is that you're trying to remember something at a time you don't even usually remember anything. So the intent to wake during the night, or to wake at certain times during the night, or to just remember your wakings. This can be really hard for some people. So there are different things you can do, like drink some water before bed so that you have to pee when you wake up. Now if you do that, I highly recommend laying there, having to pee, laying there, try to bring up your stuff, try to bring up the ideas of your dreams and connect them together, put some words to them, and then going to the bathroom after that, after you've got something there, and write some stuff down in the bathroom. I cheat my way with intent. So I think this is really fun, and it's a really good way to just increase your intent for something. Do something really hard throughout the day, and when you don't feel like doing it, just say that the reason you're doing it is to increase your dream recall. So go on a run. And when you feel like quitting, say, I'm not quitting because I want to increase my dream recall. Now you might be like, running doesn't increase your dream recall. Well, it might actually. Being able to get your mind active and your body sleepy, it might increase your recall. But aside from that, it can literally be anything because this is your intent and you're pushing yourself with this intent to get better recall. This is something that I've noticed really, really helps push past barriers with dreaming. Whenever you're stuck somewhere, do something nonsensical that is going to help. Something like running. You start running every day to increase your dream recall. Holy crap, now you're spending an hour a day or 30 minutes a day, however long you run, to increase your recall, and you're just running. Because the whole time you're running, everyone's thinking the same thing. This sucks, this sucks, this sucks. There is this idea, and I might be wrong about this, but it's something that I implemented a long time ago. And it might have been on some bad information, but I think it's a good way to look at it. Basically, it said that after like 5 seconds of waking up, there's sort of a chemical that helps you to forget things. And it sort of doesn't want your brain to keep all of these thoughts together, right? So those 5 seconds after you remember a dream, they're really critical for trying to put words to those things. And if you transfer it from thoughts and images over to words, then now you've got that memory to go back to, and then that memory connects there. So you've already connected the memories in 2 places. If you only have it in one place, you can lose the key to that memory. Really, really like to think of my dreams as like one place that I keep going back to. And so my dream journal is like my logs of that place. The place is insane, but that's okay, because I can learn the rules if I write it down. Some people don't like this idea and don't want their dreams to be more coherent as they get better and better at dreaming, which is fine, but you need to think of a way for your mind to connect the idea of dreams in a good way that you enjoy writing down your dreams. Something explorative if you like explorative, or something quest-like if you like quests. So you need to think of, what do I enjoy about dreams, and how can I bring that into my day-to-day dream life? It's not going to be a sensei video unless I put incubation in here. So something to really increase recall is to choose what you're going to dream about. Incubation is its own separate thing from lucid dreaming, and I think that most of the lucid dreaming abilities can really just be brought down to incubation when you look at it. Mild looks a lot like incubation. Wild is a really weird form of incubation where you're choosing what to send through the barrier to dreams. But with incubation, if you can choose what you're going to dream about, then when you wake up the next morning, you already know what strings you're pulling to get better recall, which is really cool. So if you know how to make your dreams nightmares, for instance, which is what I've been doing recently, then every morning I just kind of have this nightmare feeling I go through, and when I go to that feeling, it goes up, which is really fun. Or what I've done in the past was to just always dream of Wheel of Time, and I'd go to sleep and I'd be thinking about Wheel of Time, and I'd have dreams about Wheel of Time, and then I woke up, I would just think of Wheel of Time and the dreams would pop up. It's great, it's fun. If you need more incubation tutorials, I'm hopefully going to release one soon. Another thing that I think is super fun and kind of cheating with dreaming is the feeling. So there's a bunch of qualia that we deal with that are just these unique feelings that happen at different times. One of these qualia is the feeling of being in a dream. And a lot of people mistake it for excitement, and they kind of lose that over time. Now your excitement levels will just, they'll go down a little bit, but it's okay. That's kind of how everything is in life. When you start it, it's really, really exciting. Later on, it's still enjoyable. It's good, right? Now, if you're going to get good at something, you're not going to be super excited every single time you go and play basketball or every time you draw. But you have that sort of solid, good amount of enjoyment from it. Now, that enjoyment is not the dream feeling. You can use these feelings to cheat things out. So if you have a feeling whenever you recall a dream, right? There's a feeling that you get when you're like, oh, I just recalled a dream I forgot. What if you just fake that feeling? Now, the way that the brain works is that whenever things fire together, they kind of build themselves up together, right? This firing together, now they are together, right? Whenever neurons happen. Man, sentences are hard and I suck at them. Neurons that fire together wire together. So you have this neuron that is this feeling of remembering a dream. And then you have this actual thing happening of remembering a dream. So what happens if you just imagine that feeling? Remembering dreams. That's what happens. It's actually really cool. Last but not least is to have like a backup thing for dream recall, okay? Now, let's say you wake up in the morning and you had some dreams and you've forgotten them, okay? Or you wake up in the morning and you don't even have any dreams, okay? What I want you to do is I want you to have a place every day that you think about dreams. If it's the shower, if it's your walk to work, if it's your walk down the stairs, you need to think that this is where I think about dreams. And what's going to happen is, if your dreams have kind of gone from you throughout the day, then as you're going down there, you think, this is where I think about dreams. And what's going to happen is that backup place, that's not, I'm no longer in my bed, I'm no longer sitting there thinking about dreams, I'm no longer doing all this. As I'm going there, that place will bring up the idea of dreams. It used to be my shower when I was a kid. It would be this blue shower, and I'd heard that blue helps you recall dreams. I don't know where I heard it. I've never found anything that says that again. But in my mind, this was the place I thought about dreams. I'd wake up every morning, I would shower, I'd stare forward at this blue shower, and I'd remember all of my dreams. And it was this great place for me. It was like a dream-like thing. I highly recommend it. Try it out. Now that I've given you about 1,000 different ways to increase your recall, I want you to post your recall score in the comments, and then in a week or two, post your recall score again. And I want to see those numbers go up like crazy because of the insane amount of effort that you're putting in. If you have a lot of questions and not just like one or two, please come to the Omni Lucid Discord. I'm there often. I respond to people adding me, and I'm often in voice chat and I can talk to people there.
dream, it pulls me in, far from where